distant lands our forefathers came, some seeking adventure, some bound in chains, through battles waged and fought, through victory.
Welcome, brothers, welcome, sisters, welcome to our program On Target. And as usual, as soon as we start this program, you can pick up the telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything: politics, religion, socio-economic issues, or any topical issue trending. And most important, we always welcome your contributions, and we encourage you to like our program and share it. That also is good too. The number to call is 442-0175. And remember, we're on Sister Eyes Radio in Carriacou. We're on YouTube and Facebook. You have a number of issues going on all around the world, but today we start off with Grenada again, and we start off with agriculture. Agriculture is the most important aspect of our country's development, but it's not the biggest income generator. And I don't think it would be in the near, medium, or distant future. Tourism is an important factor. The service industry, education and the service industry, St. George's University contribute more than 20% of the GDP. Our people, we have a number of Grenadians in the diaspora, they too send back remuneration. In the terms of agriculture, we export fish, we export soursop. Grenada is the only country in the region, I believe, that can send fresh soursop to the U.S. market. The U.S. is a very important market. Some people have a love-hate relationship with America, but the U.S. is a very important market to us. We must never forget that. In addition to that, we export cocoa and nutmeg. Now, the cocoa industry in Grenada, I am not satisfied with at all. Over the years, I believe Cocoa Association we have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Mr. Pierre, I remember when NMP was governing, the NDC said that NMP is the cause of high cost of living in the country. And they asked the Grenadian people to vote for them. So when they vote for them, they will bring down the price of cost of living will go down. But Mr. Pierre, we know, some of us know definitely, the government has no control over it, over some of the cost of price of things going up. But then they tell the people to vote for them, so then they will bring in high cost of living. High cost of living will be going down. But when we look and see what we see happen, if cost of living going up high every day, and what if it happen? They say no, it's not them, it is a world crisis. So when NMP was there, it was a world crisis. Right? So you want to get into government, you promise people, you say you're going to do that, you go do that. But when you come into office, you know before. If you get into office, you weren't able to do it. Right? So the same problem NMP had before. When you have it, you have the same problem now. Right? But see, when you always tell people, you tell people the truth. The cost of it has nothing to do with the government. Right? But then you tell them, if vote for you, you go bring on it, make things easy, make life better for them. Well, life has to be better for everybody. Not for some, and some, you're making life difficult for other people. I always say, when an election call and a government win the election, it's not a government for some, but it's a government to govern everyone in the country. All right, Mr. P, have a good day.
Caller, why you think NMP win on 3 occasions, they win all the seats?
Because, NMP have a team, right? A team that was united, a team that people have trust in and have confidence in, a team that was looking out for everyone in the country.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, I think it's always important when I always say Grenada have perhaps the most mature voters in the region. if they find you get complacent, they get rid of you. They're simple and straightforward as that. But let's go back to Cocoa Association. The cocoa is a food. And because in today's society, we have more millionaires than any other time in our history. We have more rich people than any other time in our history. Yes, you have more poor people too, because the middle class kind of shrinking. But cocoa is a food. And cocoa is also considered as a very romantic food. So the Cocoa Association over the years, I have not been satisfied with them at all. And I consider myself qualified to take issue with Cocoa Association because I am a cocoa farmer and I'm a nutmeg farmer. I'm a farmer in total. The Cocoa Association always seems to do some things. I could only interpret it as if they try not to make the government look good. So they take actions that sacrifice the own cocoa farmers just that they would not make the government look good. Today in our society, the management of the Cocoa Association and the Nutmeg Association supposed to be in donkey glory. They have the government they want. The National Democratic Congress always seems to more impressive to the members of the Cocoa Association and the Nutmeg Association. They always seems to gravitate to that political party. Today, the Minister of Agriculture came straight from the Cocoa and Nutmeg Association management team, perhaps for the last 10 years. The Speaker of the House is also a leading member of the Cocoa and Nutmeg Association. The farmers' representative in the Senate is also a leading member of the farmers of the Cocoa Association top echelons. So I want to remind them, you don't have to make this government look good. That is your government. I know it's going to be difficult for you to change with so much a negative attitude all over the years. And you were prepared to sacrifice your farmers for politics. I have described you before, years before, as the worst representative in Grenada. You have not seek the farmers' interests at all. You have always seek the interests of a political party that doesn't last long. So today, I want you to change. I want you to change fast. And one of the quickest ways you could change is make certain that you start to provide information for the farmers. Advertise with a radio station. Tell the farmers when you're buying cocoa. Stop writing it up on the board. Even if you continue to write it up with chalk the night before they buy cocoa on the buying point. Even if you continue with your secret chat room where you could tell some members, you have a duty, you have a responsibility, you have an obligation to the farmers, and you also have political interest to make your government look good. Start to advertise on a radio station. We have a program on Real FM, one of the best agriculture programs in this country, going on for over 10 years. Every Thursday, advertise on that program. I know you wouldn't do it, but it's one of the best programs to advertise on. Because all and sundry in Grenada know about the agriculture program. They listen to it religiously on Thursday. It's quite true it doesn't come on it. The Ministry of Agriculture does come on it. So if you advertise on it on Thursday, at least the farmers going to know Monday and Tuesday you're buying cocoa or Wednesday. And they will able to be prepared. You disadvantaging some farmers. You have someone in a chat room and you're going to write it on the board in the night, in the evening time. This is unacceptable. And today in our society, you have the government you want. You're more aligned to the NDC. Senior members of the Cocoa and Nutmeg Association are also senior members of the National Democratic Congress. The Minister of Agriculture, you shelter him and rescue him for almost 10 years in Cocoa and Nutmeg Association. I believe you have a moral responsibility to do better. And I believe I'm one of the most qualified farmers to tell you that. So I'm telling you that today. In addition to that, the small states in the world today are the group lobbying the most for the environment, for protection based upon the environment. So ask your Minister of Agriculture, join with him to lobby in the international community for $5 million for cocoa and nutmeg rehabilitation. You must get it if you go after it. They will give you. They help small state. And you can declare cocoa and nutmeg as forest crop, particularly cocoa. If you cut the nutmeg tree shatter, nutmeg will easily become a forest crop. One of the problems with nutmeg in Grenada is the tumbling effect. Nutmeg trees are growing too tall, so they don't have a root system to cater for that height. Oh God, or you come and do better. And when you get that $5 million, come out and lobby with some of the farmers to rehabilitate the field. And you could make a legal document with them that they can change the status of the field for X amount of years, for 40 years. Otherwise, they have to pay you back the money you spend on the field. You're going to get grant aid. So you don't have to charge the farmers for rehabilitating the field. You could plant the cocoa, fertilize it, clean it twice a year, and the farmer can plant what other crop he wants in it while the cocoa are going, you monitoring it. But he cannot change the field for 30 or 40 years without your express written permission. Otherwise, he have to pay you for the expense. Make a legal document. You know that long, but I know you would not do it because you would have made the government look bad. Today, you have every reason to make the government look good. The chocolate factory you open, you tricking some of the farmers. If you assign shares to the farmers, make certain all the farmers get the share. Don't trick them. What you're doing is tricking the farmers. Provide the information in Carlton and St. Patrick's and St. David's so the farmers could have access right in the Cocoa Association, even if you have to transport the staff to Sotes or Carlton or St. David's on a particular day. You have a responsibility to the farmers. What you're doing to the Grenada farmers is wrong. And I know you all know better. All you have a briefcase of certificate and walking around with a bag of problem. You went on that trajectory because you did not want the previous government to look good. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, good
Yes,
evening.
my brother, welcome.
Yeah, I think they had some serious debushing agricultural land. Well, what I asked one of them guys, I say, well, what are you give me share? You guys tell me that flop already? Just a fortnight they had that. When the guy control the pork, I don't know. I don't know if he's up by the sideboard by when he said it. You guys tell me that thing flop already?
Well, maybe they identify special farmers.
Yeah, but the one woman just had a contract on the road. She get a gang. Go, she first land, she work his house, and then you go and work on our activist land, and that is and the fortnight up already. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
Remember, the government has incorporated political victimization as part of the policies. So maybe the land program is all integrated and interrelated. The caucus.
That consultation, I think, for the budget and thing, and after the and the last one, I think, is in Guava with the eye. They're talking about the budget not really reflect on the Fiscal Responsibility Act. So all the input that people give in is that they already planned how they carry the budget already. The guy will say that the budget will be based on fiscal responsibility. So that means they're biting what they could chew. So that means all the people what big the proposal, they won't bother them in that. You can remember, I listen to you and I say the budget will be based on fiscal responsibility. So once the budget will be based on fiscal responsibility, that means they won't spend, they won't overspend no money. And so people propose everything, that just waste of time. They just have a fun show. So things are playing. Have a good weekend.
Yes, my brother, it's a fun show. It's also an opportunity for them to reach their supporters. It might also be an opportunity for them to identify individuals who they believe against them. You see, that went on in the revolution, you know. The revolution had this stunt on them. The revolution even had political class of public officers. We used to go every Wednesday. They say your promotion, your education, your training would determine on your participation in class. Because some people go in class and they say nothing. So when you go in class and you open your mouth, people afraid they might end up in jail. So if the National Democratic Congress incorporate political victimization as part of the policies, and they end up with the Ministry of Mobilization, and they decide to have this short assistance program, before you hear it done. I listened to a comment by a minister, and he said we must identify the skills that we have in the community, and that is good. But if you have a victimization program, they're going to know who they're calling to give the jobs. I speak on these things regularly and will continue, because I was during the period of the revolution. I saw what they did with counter-revolutionaries. I saw how it affected people in the public service. I saw the devastating effect in the schools. It contributed to scores of Grenadians jump in the plane and jump in the boat. And that's why I speak about it. This is a period of time when the Cocoa Association pay back pay. This is a time when the Cocoa Association management must look at the workers. Tell them, if the last time you had increases for your management staff, if you had increases for the Cocoa Association staff, you have a group of people there. The time has come for you to give us some account. It is wrong. It is incorrect. It is not right for you to continue on that trajectory. You have no excuse now. You can't even say you don't like the government now. You have absolutely no excuse. You cannot continue to sacrifice the farmers for your own political agenda. And I'm not saying personal agenda, your political agenda. Now is the time to give the farmers, start to advertise when you're buying cocoa, use a radio station. I'm encouraging you to advertise with Real FM on the Farmers Program, because this is the best agriculture program in Grenada, and it didn't start yesterday. Years now it's on the program. Well established. Every creek and corner in Grenada knows about the agriculture program. A number of people from the ministry came on the program. When individuals complained, maybe about 10 years ago, 10 years ago, that St. Patrick's was too far for them to come up, the radio station went down to meet them halfway. They went in Grenville. I think it was in Dennis Noel Place, to meet the many people from agriculture. What more you want? This is an opportunity for the Cocoa Association. You could advertise on other radio station too, but advertise when you're buying cocoa on the agriculture program. You already have a ready-made audience. So people will listen on that program on Thursdays to know if you're buying cocoa Monday and Tuesday. You have to understand, because a number of farmers don't have permanent workers, they have to search for workers. And when they loan you buying Monday, sometime you get them with their pants down. They cannot buy it. So this is one of my advice to you. The second one is it is not hard for you to get a $5 million from outside. It's not difficult. And use it as grant aid to help to rehabilitate the cocoa industry. And you can make a legal agreement with farmers. We have abandoned the bigger farmers in Grenada year go, year come. We have an attitude, they're big farmers, so we're not assisting them. But these big farmers also employ people. And if we assist them, they will have the capacity to employ more people. Farmers with over 20, 30, 50, 70, 80 acres of land, we abandon them. We have not been helping them. In fact, we treat them as if they have yards. And Cocoa Association over the years have disadvantaged the farmers just to make governments look bad. Well, you don't have that excuse today. You and the government is one and same. You rescued the Minister of Agriculture. For years he worked with you. He would not have agreed to implement this program because it would have made the previous government look bad. He knows. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, ma'am, welcome.
The thing what I'm listening some people saying, when the previous government did, nobody didn't used to call and say to do that and to do this. Mr. Pierre, every minute you hear in the road, the bridge, the all kind of thing. This government now come here and this got on everybody on the want. I just can't understand what happened to some people. I don't know, you got to have to tell me what happened to some of us. Because the thing is now, I know this previous government right now walk there in the road from August right up to December. They calling it handout. This rain and falling, man, rain and bush jogging and cutting and things. They handout. I just don't understand why we doing this thing and them. No, these people, 100 days, they're praising him for what? Tell me what? They're praising him. He say he making people permanent, which he send them on contract, but he making the people permanent. I hear Carla said this man is stating that this government coming, the previous government never niggerize people, and look, the union telling the government, he say he going to permanent. He who say he go permanent people, so everybody waiting on that. He don't raise nobody pay. He don't permanent nobody. The money what they take it, he pay on people. He say he paying public, he paying back pay on November month 10. November month 10. where he don't search for that money already there. So he don't telling me that he do something. I understand. People don't want to understand. He now come give him a chance. He fast. He want business. Go and do business. Don't leave nobody stranded and let's sit down there and let's say he now come. And they say he come to work. Walk. And that is what I want to hear.
Thank you, caller. Caller, we always have the enemies of progress with us. They have been extremely loud. Sometimes they're louder. And too many people stay silent. And when they're loud, they try to intimidate you. And when you're saying what is true, you must dare and you must challenge people. I express my views and my opinion on any subject matter I'm comfortable with. If they could advance new information, I'm changing my opinion. But I challenge any member of the Cocoa Association hierarchy to tell us if they cannot do what I am asking and begging and pleading with them to do years now. Culture Man used to tell me when they're buying cocoa, because he's able to have some inside information. He stopped telling me. A woman promised to get me on the chat room, but I don't know, maybe she must ask them. They say no, perhaps. So I'm not on the chat room. So sometimes I don't know when they're buying cocoa. You have another old man like me, he just drive and go and watch the board to see when he have chat. And if he see me, he go tell me. But he have no phone. He's an old man. The time in 2022, all these bright people in the Cocoa Association must stop this nonsense. This is utter, unacceptable nonsense. When you decide to purchase cocoa, advertise with Real FM on the Thursday program. You may not do that, but that is the best way to advertise, with Real FM on the Thursday program, so that the people are accustomed with that program going on over 10 years. Advertise when they're buying cocoa. The Minister of Agriculture, well, I'm going to have a special session to call on the Minister of Agriculture. But the Minister of Agriculture work in agriculture all his life. And when he done, he go and work with Cocoa Association for the rest of his life. And now he come back in politics as the Minister of Agriculture. What more Cocoa Association want? One of the senior members on the Cocoa Association and Nutmeg Association, I will call them interchangeable because they're so entwined. It's difficult to draw a line of demarcation between the roles. He is the Speaker of the House and the farmers' representative in the House, who have a senior position in nutmeg or cocoa, is also the farmers' representative in the House. What more you could want? In addition to that, a number of you board members going to end up on different boards in the country because all of you all are one and the same. So now you could have a secret chat room to inform some farmers. And you could tell it publicly, like when they was buying banana. Make it public knowledge. What is wrong about telling you that? And I'm suggesting to you, you have this information long. But if you did it before, you would have made the government look good. Do it now and make the NDC look good. Go in the international community and you could get a $5 million in the international community because they help small states against the climatic conditions. They help small states. And it's easy for you to get 5 million because cocoa and nutmeg from Grenada is well recognized in the world. They say we are the best chocolate. And once upon a time, we had the second largest producer of nutmeg, but we was the most well organized. So that is not hard. You could easy for you to get a 5 million grant aid. Your government just got a 10 million from Saudi Arabia. Keep going ask for it. You could get a 5 million from the organization that dealing with the climate. I don't know the right name of them. But you know, or you have a whole briefcase of certificate. The next thing you must do, make a chocolate so school children could buy chocolate. You have chocolate in bars for tourists. Make a chocolate, make it milder so school children could spend $1 and buy Grenada chocolate. And in the same way, we could go to the rum shop and drink a cup of coffee. Not everybody in the rum shop does drink rum. You have toilet paper in the rum shop too. They sell Clorox in the rum shop too. They sell Panadol in the rum shop too. They sell Anjo liver salt, corned beef and biscuit in the rum shop too. So sometimes Romans go and get a coffee in the rum shop. They want to stay near the rum shop. Doctor tell them don't drink more rum because their foot swelling, their face shining. They go dead just now, but they go in the rum shop to get a coffee. Make chocolate in a packet for $1, $1.25. So just as how we could buy a coffee and put in a teacup, we could buy a chocolate and put in a teacup. How all these bright people could be so bad-minded, it baffles my mind. How all these bright, intelligent people refuse to practicalize their certification. And at the same time, think about the workers in Cocoa Association. When last you conduct a serious training to improve the workers? When last you increase the workers' pay? What's wrong with Cocoa Association? Cocoa Association and Nutmeg Association, it is easy like kissing hand to pay NIS for the cocoa farmers. Determine if you pay, you could scale them based upon the productivity and in consultation with them, and determine whether they're working for $1,000 a month. Well, if they're working for $1,000 a month, just multiply the NIS by 12. And you could determine whether they could pay in tranche, whether they want to pay every 6 months or when they sell cocoa. And you just have to record it based upon what they pay. But Cocoa Association could pay NIS a lump sum. We have computer. Where to get this backward bright people? How all these people could come out in university and refuse to think? Why? I mean, white people don't have to come down here to do that first. People from England don't have to come to do it. People from Europe don't have to come to do it. Cubans don't have to come. Japanese and Chinese and Russian don't have to come. This thing is simple. We have computers. You know who's selling cocoa. You know the history for 5 years. You could use the average point to put them in a classification. Whether it's the $1,000 group or $2,000 group or $5,000 group. And you could pay NIS for anybody under 50 or 52 because you know the period of time. And Cocoa Association could pay lump sum while they collect the farmers' NIS based upon when they sell cocoa or in trans. Come on. Why is it our own people is against us? That is why people vex with Kit Mitchell saying, this is the envy for success. This is why Kit Mitchell go out and reach out and help his people. And I always say, handout. 10,000 toilet, they say handout. They get bazzled, you know, because Kit Mitchell decided to help that no Grenadians, his ultimate objective, that no Grenadian should have to go to pit toilet. You could have one outside, but you must have a toilet inside. It's an important factor. The World Health, you all probably doesn't understand the World Health Organization. If there are people in the country that is well off and have all the basic sanitary facilities. And a lot of people don't have. When disease break out, you still go get infected. Because the people from the lower socio-income group, disease is going to be easier to spread around them because they don't have the basic sanitary facilities. This is not rocket science. That is why Kit Mitchell understands that. And he believes we must build toilet for all those who don't have, and I agree with him. I in full support of him. That is why he introduced the Imani program. The best program that has been instituted in Grenada in the last 100 years. And I challenge anybody, NNP, NDC, trade union, to take me on that. Tell me which other program where you prepare young people to be more competitive on the job market. Tell me which other program that exists. I see bright people beat up on this program. I see people who want to consider themselves in a higher status beat up on this program. I witnessed over the years the National Democratic Congress attack this program. I watched the union pelt low blow at the program. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Yes, caller, welcome.
I want to compliment you on a statement because I just wonder when to pick cocoa. That's a good point you raised because I just have one man cocoa on my tree and I don't know when to pick it. So because I have no information.
Well, they won't put you on the chat. A man like you, they will not put you on the chat because it's a special group of people they have on the chat.
Right.
So I'm begging them now, get rid of the chat because more people that sell cocoa, NBC go look better.
Right.
Yeah, so this is the main reason I'm begging them.
I just wonder when.
I know they won't put you on the chat. They don't put me too.
Okay.
Can't get you on it.
Okay.
So we're pleading with them. Right now, helping NDC with the transformative agenda because it appears that they say it is more restorative justice rather than transformative agenda. And I don't know what they mean by restorative justice yet. So I'm hoping some strong politicos of the National Democratic Congress will explain to me what they mean by restorative justice. I notice our journalists afraid to ask them what they mean by restorative justice. Yes, caller, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I understand what they mean by transformation. It's a thorough and a dramatic change in appearance. It's like a butterfly. You watch a larva and it end up flying out like a bird. It's dramatic. But they say it is not transformation. It is more restorative justice. I expected our journalists to be asking what that means. Because the National Democratic Congress, it seems, campaign on transformation. And transformation is dramatic. Now they say it's not so much transformation, but restorative justice. And I'm trying to understand that. And while I'm trying to understand that, I'm begging the Cocoa Association, still help them with the transformative agenda. And if you do these things, cocoa will do better and pay cocoa back pay. There was one case, one of my gentlemen, I don't know if you call me today, he said cocoa said they make 35 million in chocolate. I tell him no, it can't be 35. It can be the gross sales. I say no. If it's 35 million, you must get a 10% profit. They will give it farmers. I say maybe 35,000. But he don't agree with me, but I can't accept that. I cannot accept Cocoa Association make $35 million, and I have not seen any documentation that could cause me to change my mind. So I say it's 35,000 they make. So I don't know if anybody saw the document, if they could lead me to it. But the time has come in Grenada for the Cocoa Association, the Nutmeg Association to change their attitude, make the government look good. You see, when you spend all your life being negative, when you spend all your life criticizing, when you spend all your life being an enemy of progress, it has been difficult for you to change. This is why you don't know what to do with the Imani program now. You get stuck like rainstorm. The best program that has been instituted in Grenada in the last 100 years to try to address the challenges of young people being competitive on the job market is the Imani program. It should be embraced by the trade union. It should be embraced by the politicos and the political activists. But you all run all the mouth on this program so much. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yes, ma'am, welcome.
Is it possible to say like the rich will get richer and the poor will always remain poor?
No, it's not necessarily that. The poor could get rich. Sometimes rich people just get bankrupt. There's a lot of rich people that get bankrupt. About 70% of the billionaires in America today did not inherit wealth. So they work their way to wealth. Sometimes we will always have poor people with us, but rich people could get back poor.
But what I'm saying, we did not make any cocoa you're talking about, and they're not letting people know which part you like, so we divided them.
The Cocoa Association for years, when they're buying cocoa, they buy cocoa sometimes twice or 3 times for the week. And when they're buying cocoa, the information is not public knowledge. They write the information on a blackboard in the buying point.
Okay.
But sometimes they come Sunday and write it. So they have a chat. I understand they have a chat. But not everybody are trying to get on the chat a long time now.
Okay,
not everybody on the chat. So in yesteryear, when we used to ship out banana, people used to get the information on the news.
Right.
So what they need to do is to use prime time to inform the farmers. But one of the ways they could do it, every Thursday, maybe for the last 10 umpteen years, Real FM have an agriculture program.
Yeah.
So advertise when they're buying cocoa on Real FM agriculture program.
Yes. I can remember as a little girl, we used to have to listen to the news when they say that they have to do the banana for our father. So when he comes home, we have to let him know.
Well, I don't.
Actually, they could do the same too.
Well, these individuals, for the life of me, time for them to wake up. Whether you like Real FM or not is not the issue.
It's not easy.
This station has the best agriculture program in the Windward Islands.
Very best.
They're consistent. They have farmers on it, and every now and then they have export. And it's not a program where people just go and talk. You could call and ask questions.
Exactly.
Even
if
if they don't have the answer, next week they come in and tell you what the answer is.
Yeah, they will explain to you.
So it's in the interest of Cocoa Association to make it public knowledge. You cannot continue with that in a secret way.
You know what people may say later? That it don't make sense with doing cocoa or nutmeg because only one set of people is benefiting.
Well, a lot of people fed up with it because sometimes the difficulty is some farmers don't have permanent workers.
That's it.
So when they're buying cocoa, they have to go and look for workers. But if they know late, they can't finish pick the cocoa because the workers must already tie up with people who knew Ollie.
And with the constant rain we have it, you don't think when they write it on the board or so that the water might wet it?
No.
They have it somewhere?
When they write it on the board, the water can wet it. The manner in which they... I know where the board is.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
But when you're going to write it on the board Sunday evening, I mean, in this 2022, they would not advertise it on the radio because they want it to be a secret.
Oh,
They don't want much people sell, and then they're complaining.
so I want to know if we becoming a secret society.
What we need to do is to beg these bright, smart people to practicalize a certificate. You don't make any sense. You're looking kind of dumb. Bright people like that, they have master's degree.
Well, the bright people should have been in the bank working.
None of the
agriculture for the poor class.
no man. When you go in the bank and work, you go and check people money, conductor. If you have a child now, he tell you go in the bank, you're seeing crazy. I'm telling him better you go and get a sweeping work with the Ministry of Finance or somewhere. Because you have a greater opportunity to get a scholarship if you work with government than if you work in the bank.
That's it.
Some people that work with government, they travel almost the whole world. According to the field you're in. It's very easy for you to get free education, a master's degree, free. If you go and work in the bank, you ain't getting nothing. No, man, this is not the days when the bank had little pucks and bring you go and play lawn tennis with white suit.
Oh.
The bank don't care about you again.
Don't care about you.
No. So it's a whole different thing. Wow. Yes, sister. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So we could do better in Grenada. I believe that we could address the challenges that we have. We don't have to wait on people from outside to come and tell us how to solve our problem. We must sit down and discuss the issue, come up with solutions, and then we could go and ask people outside for direct assistance. You see how Kit Mitchell get $10 billion from Saudi Arabia? He wanted for budgetary support. You'd go back and ask them for more again. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Good evening to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I have about two things to find out from you. Is your program basically anti-NDC program?
I always say NDC should help me run that program, and NNP should help me run that program, and the trade union should help me run that program. The program is open. We speak about anything. We fear no subject matter, and we express our opinion. And anytime we get different information, we change the opinion.
You're right, Mr. Pierre. So, because what I'm saying, every time I try to listen to your program, it's only about NDC this, NDC that. Mr. Pierre, earlier sometime, about 2-3 weeks ago, there was a big issue. I never heard you talk about it.
What was the big issue?
That faith and people and the people who work with the faith agencies and don't receive any money.
You wanted me to speak about that? You should have raised it. If you raise it, then I will speak about it.
No, because you come every day and only speak about NDC this and NDC.
Caller, let me say something to you. I have not attacked NDC yet. Don't ever believe that I have attacked NDC. The only issue I take with NDC so far, because they adopt political victimization as part of the policy, and that is a political crime, is a disgrace. No other government in Grenada post the revolution has done that. I am so strongly disappointed with the trade union that I didn't object to that. So that is the only issue I take with NDC so far.
Because they are victimized people.
They adopt victimization as part of the policies. Now, all governments in the past has been accused of victimizing people. But no government has adopted it as part of the policies. Now, the NDC put it as part of the policy.
Right. Mr.
So it is
let's move on quick.
Caller, the statement you make against me is a fundamental one. And I'm trying to explain to you. No government in Grenada post the revolution has put victimization as part of the policy. I have another letter from Karakou. 10 years working with government. 10 years working with government. They give him a letter to go. And the trade union, particularly the trade union representative in the house, the man with the red cap, the Comrade General of the Technical and Allied Workers Union. After all these years, your significance will be diluted if you don't stand up for these workers. So I've not attacked NDC yet.
Right, Mr. Pierre, so let me start with N. Mr. Pierre, am I wrong? I see there are some people who work with NMP, Mr. Pierre, for 10 years. 10 years doing the bushing. Some of them is prominent in the road, right? Mr. Pierre, in a small population, you have people who campaign for the two different parties. The people are the lowest end now, Mr. Pierre. What you want the NDC to do? How is they going to find work, Mr. Pierre, for the supporters? Just tell me how. Tell me how.
You want me to answer you with that question now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me how.
There is absolutely no justification. Color, let me answer you off there. Can you just be interrupting? There is absolutely no justification, no reason for the National Democratic Congress to fire these people. Absolutely no reason. The NDC meet the Treasury pregnant. He have money in the Treasury. The NDC just get $10 million from Saudi Arabia. 10 million from Saudi Arabia that was negotiated before. They have over 200 and something projects working. What the NDC have to do is to make more jobs. And I could start to tell them how to make jobs. You hear I've been begging to invest in the beekeeping industry. It doesn't take much money to increase beekeeping production. The NDC could invest in the flowers industry. It doesn't take much money to invest in that program. Government have the Imani program. Encourage the people who within Imani age, who is unemployed, to get involved in the Imani program. If the Cocoa Association is providing timely information for farmers who have cocoa, more people will be employed in the industry. The NDC startup vindictive. And it is sad. It is unfortunate. People thought they was getting a new deal because they had a new Slater individual. People vote newness. They say they're going to make dramatic change. That is what transformation means. Dramatic. A good example is a butterfly. You're watching a larva, a pupae, how you call it, and then you see a butterfly. That is dramatic. Now the NDC seems to say it is not dramatic change, it is more restorative justice. What you understand by restorative justice? So who do these 9 people wrong? When these people say you clean, nobody do you wrong. You have no reason to be angry at vets. The National Democratic Congress set up Ministry of Mobilization in a supplementary budget. This is wrong. And even if you is a strong supporter of NDC, you're supposed to be concerned. We have a call on the line, Color Punch.
Mr. Pierre.
Yeah.
I could remember the former Prime Minister was there. He tried. But when people was beating up on him and calling him black and all different type of names, nobody come on the air and said to clear him or so. Nobody did. How come now? How come now?
Well, we have democracy.
I know.
And
that.
we have to express ourselves.
Yes, but not well. What?
And maybe I have been on radio. I have been on radio for the past 7 years, and I've been pretty consistent in my approach.
Right.
And I always believe we could solve our problems.
Sure.
Let us have discussion and come up with solutions.
And so come with solutions.
So if the National Democratic Congress comes in power and they believe they have to get jobs for their supporters, they should have said that when they campaigning.
Exactly.
You can't trick people. You can't tell the people. You go make them permanent and then fire them.
True.
We have the sister from St. Patrick's. She boyfriend from St. Andrews, both of them walking in the road. The boys are going Trinidad. The girl is panicking because she don't want your boyfriend going Trinidad. She feel by the time she reaches Trinidad, then Trinidad woman don't let him come back. As sure as daylight. Particularly if he loses his job to go.
And then they have young children to support.
Right. We have another gentleman in Carriacou, a number of them from Carriacou, you know.
Yes, I know.
This one received a letter on the 5th. On the 5th of October, he received his letter. But he was home a couple times already. So now, what the NDC doing there is wrong. So these people work 10 years. They're paying union dues.
So what do they want these people to do?
No, they want to rub their face in the dust. They're creating hate. Because,
and spite.
Yeah, I think, and that is where I am concerned, because based on the demographics in the country, there are some family members that live in good, but they supporting different political party.
But Mr. Pierre, I could remember 2008, they will say, why go back so far? I'm visioning Pierre.
But we have to end now. You got to call me another time.
Okay.
We come to the end. We come into the end of the program, and we highly appreciate the callers. We didn't get a chance to read anyone from the from Facebook today, but maybe we'll deal with you another time on it. And we believe that we could make a difference. This is the key. We don't have to rub Grenadian face in the dust. We don't have to go around and victimize Grenadians. We don't have to fire people without giving them natural justice. Give them a chance to defend themselves. If an individual is insubordinate, unproductive, then there is a modus operandi. There is an approach to deal with it. An individual working 10 years to get a letter. Some of these men go just jump the plane or jump the boat. Some, not all. Some is going to stay here. In Carriacou is worse than Grenada because it's easier to get a job if you're on the mainland. If you're a cook, you might get a job in a restaurant or in a rum shop, or you might do barbecue by the roadside. In Carriacou, it would be more difficult. So it appears this thing has nothing to do with productivity. It has everything to do with victimization and political vengeance. And this is why the NDC, perhaps true intention, was restorative justice. But I just get this information, so I'm trying to find out what they mean by that. What they mean by restorative justice. And who in the party that is showing this thing now is restorative justice, not so much transformation. And I want to thank you for being with us today. As usual, time flies sometime, and we didn't get any chance to read those on social media. But we're back with you again next week on Target. And tomorrow, Master Call on Friday Extension will be there from 7:30 to 11. Thank you very much.
Celebrating song as we rise to heights where we belong. Sound of victory drum for Caracum. Though great and diverse be our ethnicities, the bonds that unite us are stronger than these. We dine, we pray, we love, we dance and we play.